was really great to see. We've got a lot of work from which to choose for these 3 shows coming up.
That's true. That's very true. I'm actually so happy to sit down after we walked through all the art and the steps and everything. So now I'm happy. And I know you mentioned that we are going to have a few shows, and the first one will be in Orlando,
First
right?
one will be Orlando.
And then.
And then we will have Brooklyn.
Oh,
the
my
opening
favorite
of,
New York.
I know, we're 2 New Yorkers.
Yes, 2 New Yorkers.
Actually, yeah, we're going to get a lot done in that New York minute. And then, yes, I'm off for Rome on Wednesday.
I know, this is crazy. You're going to Rome like next week, basically.
The next show will be in Rome.
Oh my God.
And it's very exciting. I guess our next step will be picking out all the pieces for New York. We know it's going in Orlando. That show will be coming up. And
we will choose whatever you find appropriate, let's say more for the Orlando gallery, because the people there,
I've been there 17 years.
The community there, because I've never lived in Orlando. I went there many times, but never lived there, so you know better. And then in New York.
Yeah. Oh, I know that in all 3 cities, the collections are going to be very, very well received, and I know that they.
And you mentioned you love those pieces, especially because they are addressing, the humanity and the Jewish component. And I just wanted to say that most pieces are for sale, the originals, and some of them, as we discussed, are not for sale, but we would like to make giclées, like very top-notch quality giclées. And when I do giclées, not me personally, I mean the company does it, but I always hand embellish it. So the difference between the original and the giclée is very minimal.
Which we've discussed.
Yeah,
exactly.
we've discussed, but it's important.
So even the giclée with its embellishment becomes an original, becomes a painting too.
It is an original.
Really, lends authenticity to each piece.
Absolutely.
And we wanted to discuss a little bit too about becoming a collector. Becoming a collector of a Helen Kagan piece. And Helen and I are going to be showcasing what we believe is quite a different approach to becoming a collector. Sometimes people look at the works and they are very, they've got a pretty hefty price tag on them. They are an original. However, Helen and I believe that we can bring everyone to a position of becoming a collector at their comfort level. Do you want to talk about that a bit? Because it is very exciting.
I actually love how we came up with that definition that, we are creating a new phenomenon. We are creating a collector at their comfort level, which means that I know there is a lot of giclées and a lot of prints, and so we're not, reinventing the wheel. But we would like to offer that unique option, because I will hand embellish every piece, and there will be very limited edition, so it may be 1 or 2 or 3 pieces, giclées of any particular piece of art. And as we discussed earlier, I have several collections which we didn't even touch upon today, and those are like a collection of zodiacs, of 12 signs of zodiacs, for instance. That will be a mind-blowing collection for any hotel. For instance, just imagine to have like 12 zodiac signs in the foyer of a hotel.
And you also have too your goal of getting your work into hospitals.
Oh, this is my dream. This is my dream. I just mentioned hotels because I thought that this particular collection, and I am working with another artist right now on a brand new collection. Some of those you've seen before. Like I said, it's a 5D. It will be a lot of softer colors, a lot of different frequency colors, a lot of 5-dimensional colors. And
is that what the pieces up there?
There are some of them. Those my individual pieces, but like I mentioned earlier, we are actually already working, and we did about 7, I think, or 8 pieces already. Together, it will be all blues, and the collection will call Serenity. And this particular collection, along with my 5D, it will be all geared towards the healthcare and any medical facilities, any holistic facilities, any facilities that would like to embrace my healing arts, because as you've seen, through all my works in this studio, it is healing. It is it is connecting with you through your emotions and feelings, and it allows you to feel better, to have that vibrancy in the room, to have vibrancy in you know, the hallway when everything is like gray and doesn't even bring that kind of life
So
there.
can I ask you, do
Yeah.
you see that? I know I could see my bedding in the 5D series.
Oh my
Have
God.
you thought about doing
Of
quite
course,
possibly a collection for
oh my God, you,
the
you read my
boudoir?
mind. Absolutely. I mean, on the fabrics, on the plates. I mean, this is all like next step, next step, next step. And but like what close to my heart. And I know it's very difficult. I know because I've tried and tried to reach the healthcare and bring and offer my healing arts there. This is what I, as a therapist, I, as a healer, I, as a psychologist, I would love to be addressed, if possible.
Well, I think the 5D
And-
collection really
oh,
encompasses
yes.
something of
I
that
believe
quality.
that. I believe
I
that.
feel the
Thank you.
peacefulness when I
Yes,
look at it. It's
on the
serene
curtains,
colors,
like for
yeah.
instance, on you know, this emergency room curtains. Just imagine, just being so soft and oh, I guess I have goosebumps and enveloping and just nurturing instead of this kind of really ugly, you know, beige and the gray colors that, you know, it's a lot of fear in the emergency rooms. You know, it's a lot of fears in the hospital, period. And, you know, for people who are there, for people who are visiting, for significant others, you know, for relatives, for everybody. And just to give a chance to nurture through the colors. And there is a more and more and more happening right now in the hospitals and the medical centers, and it becoming
Oh,
like really,
absolutely,
really,
yeah.
really
Yeah, it's
popular
really,
to bring healing arts in many different
yeah,
modalities.
the hospitals of the white walls are a thing of the past, without a doubt.
Forget
Without a
about
doubt.
that, but I mean,
Thankfully, that
thankfully, but you know, healing not only in the colors, but you know, they bring the music and bring like, you know, healing hands and bring a lot of healing in many different
well, there's no doubt
modalities to the
about it. Your work's
hospital.
really explosive.
Thank you.
And, I mean,
But it's also
the things
calming.
abound.
But it's calming.
Yes,
Calming.
yeah,
It's all of those. It's not only explosive like this one, for instance, or that one.
Well,
It's
explosive
very-
in the sense that it's the way I found you was that I felt that when I looked at something unrelated, I was looking at a performer, and there were some pages in there about
right,
you,
right,
and your
right, right,
works just
right,
kind of
right.
exploded off that page to
Yeah.
me, and that's why I had to within
Like
a couple
this.
of days reach out to you.
Like
Exactly.
this, like this.
Exactly.
She reached out to me immediately, like when she saw some, you know.
Well, I watched you on the
there was a
YouTube. I
flyer,
saw some
right, or
interviews.
something.
Yeah, I was really captivated
amazing.
by your themes and finding out more about you, and also that to meet you in person, to be at the studio here, and to see
I'm
the
very
vast
grateful.
the
I'm very
vast
grateful that you
work
wanted to
that you
do that.
Yeah. And that's what we want to do. We want to bring it to each community where the show will be, and to let people know that at their comfort level, they can become a collector of Helen
That's very
Kagan's
important. That's very
works.
important. Absolutely. I would love that.
Helen, this is it. We're really advancing. Now we're up to the stage of picking the pieces for the shows. So we've got Orlando, we've got New York, Brooklyn, and going international with Rome.
Wow.
What do you think? Are you ready to pick the pieces?
I am totally ready to pick the pieces. And actually, what I remember that you have artistic background, right? You're an artist yourself, and you were teaching art, right?
I was a teacher in New York.
Yeah.
And
I read it on your website. Wow, that's
did.
so cool.
Seems like a long time ago. But yes, I was a fine arts major. I studied in Florence.
Wow.
And,
so you know art.
my love of Italy.
Right.
Hence, that's why we're going to have the international show in Rome.
Oh my God.
And yes, I'm really looking forward to pulling back into the arts and making the selections with you for the different galleries.
I'm so
Because
happy.
in the years I've moved into real estate, but have always wanted to have a reflection of art in the buildings.
Your heart is an art.
Right? Yes,
Your
my heart is in art.
I'm so happy.
Just like that piece over there.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
love that
absolutely. Yeah, the
particular
heart.
piece.
The heart.
Yes.
And I'm so
Your
happy.
heart never leaves art.
And you know what? I'm really honored that you choose me to represent me, to bring me to your international galleries, because you know art, you feel art,
Thank you.
and your heart is
My
with
heart
art.
is art. Yes,
Yeah.
it's been there.
Thank you.
Even though I did not, it's been a while, but I've never left it. It was
Yeah.
always surrounding me in some way or another. And
It's in your
when I
heart.
came back to the building, we had lived overseas, and when we came back, sadly, my husband did pass away 8 years ago.
I'm sorry.
And the building in Orlando, which will house your one-woman show, was filled with just white, plain, boring walls. And I thought, I've got to do something about it.
You got tons of color.
So we got a lot from
Tons
which
of
to choose
color. Yes,
that will grace the
absolutely.
walls of the Sawmill Center. And yes, your one-woman show is just going to rock Orlando.
And
And then we will move on to New York
I,
and Rome.
I think that will be nice if you keep the title. Like, do you like the title? Colors, Healing, and
And
Beyond.
beyond.
You
I
like-
do. I sure
So
do.
it means a lot. You know, there is a lot of meaning, and I think we can keep it for different shows. We can keep the title because this is what it's all about. My art is about colors, healing, and beyond. And thank you so much again,
Thank you,
and again,
Helen.
and again, and again. And I'm honored. I'm honored to be in your galleries. And thank you guys for shooting such a wonderful video. I really appreciate it. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
being here and acknowledging and valuing and really loving my art. It
So
makes it so
I've
special.
seen all the collection, and there's a little rumor circulating that there's a new piece that's out there, which has I believe, an iconic message to give.
It-
Would you feel ready to show that beautiful piece that you showed us earlier?
I don't think I have to say much about this piece because it speaks in itself, and it's very different from, I think, all my 500 pieces. It calls Divine Love. And we will do some formal unveiling later, but this is the first time I'm showing this piece. Thank you.
Helen, do you know why this show is going to be so extraordinary and very special to me?
No. Why?
Well, there have been many shows at the Sawmill Center,
I
at
know.
the building in Orlando,
No.
but this is going to be the first woman solo show.
Oh, wow.
And you are going to be the star of that show.
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm very honored to have your works come to the building. And it's just going to be a wonderful event. We've had other events, and many people, we've had 300, up to 350 people have come
Wow,
out to
that's
see
good.
the artwork. And the community really is very encouraged and very touched, and they show their support. So we're going to have a lot of people at your show.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I'm
you,
honored.
Helen.
Thank you.